Now let's discuss about firstly what are organic compounds. So generally the compounds which contain carbon and hydrogen and the derivatives of phosphorus, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur or halogens are generally called as organic compounds. The compounds which contain carbon, hydrogen and the derivatives of nitrogen, phosphorus or sulfur or maybe halogen are generally called as organic compounds, and the chemistry which deals with organic compounds is generally called as organic chemistry. And these organic compounds can be represented in numerous ways, but for now let's learn about 5 types of representations. So the first form of representation of organic compounds can be described as molecular formula, and second one I say it as condensed formula, and third one is complete structure formula, and fourth one should be bond line formula, and as for fifth one I say it's 3D formula. So for each of this representation we'll be discussing in detail by taking few examples. So let's take the first example as butane. So the molecular formula of butane should be coming as C4H10, and its condensed formula should become CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. And for its complete structure formula, we write this complete structure by elaborating each and every single bond. You getting it? The bond might between carbon, hydrogen, carbon and sulfur, carbon, phosphorus, carbon and nitrogen, carbon and carbon, and even carbon and halogen. Elaboration of each and every single bond generally is nothing but the representation in complete structure formula. So let's take an application of butane. It will be like this. Elaboration of each and every single bond, as I've told you. H and H, another H. Yes, this is called as complete structure formula. And as far as bond line structure, we must remember one important thing, that is where each and every dot represents a carbon and a line represents a covalent bond between two carbons. So as for butane, let's take 4 dots as it has 4 carbons, and covalent bond between each of them will give the bond length structure formula for this thing. And for 3D structure it will be difficult for butane, but let's take a 3D structure example for as for 3D structure, methane. So we must methane, we know that general formula is CH4 or molecular formula, condensed form and complete structure formula will be same. Yes, this one. We must remember that the plane of carbon contains 2 hydrogens on this horizontal plane. This is called as horizontal plane, and one plane and the other 2 hydrogens, among them one lies above the plane and it is represented as this thick line, and other lies below the plane, which is represented with this dotted line or slash line. This is near to the observer, whereas this is far away from the observer. And that is about 3D structure.